or 0996 892 965. Get a Zuku decoder today and not miss daily mass, worship and prayers, news bulletins, and so much more on Luntha TV, bringing wisdom into your home. Luntha TV is now on Zuku Channel 51. You can get yourself a Zuku decoder from the Luntha TV offices in Area 2, Lilongwe, and from all the St. Manford bookshops across the country in Kasungu, Lilongwe, Salima, Dedza, Balaka, Zomba, Mulanje, Blantyre, Chikwawa, Mwanza, and Mangochi. For more information, contact 0883 815 055 or 0996 892 965. Get a Zuku decoder today and not miss daily mass, worship and prayers, news bulletins, and so much more on Luntha TV, bringing wisdom into your home. Luntha TV is now on Zuku Channel 51. You can get yourself a Zuku decoder from the Luntha TV offices in Area 2, Lilongwe, and from all the St. Manford bookshops across the country in Kasungu, Lilongwe, Salima, Dedza, Balaka, Zomba, Mulanje, Blantyre, Chikwawa, Mwanza, and Mangochi. For more information, contact 0883 815 055 or 0996 892 965. Get a Zuku decoder today and not miss daily mass, worship and prayers, news bulletins, and so much more on Luntha TV, bringing wisdom into your home.
Greetings, and it's time for the news, and my name is Bernard Mwanza. But first, the headlines. Pope Francis calls National Eucharistic Congress a significant moment in the life of the Church. Public Affairs Committee PAC engaged on anti-homosexuality demonstration preparations. Malawi government expresses commitment to supporting refugees in the country. Fighting erupts in Somalia's Puntland region after parliament debate. Those were the headlines, now the news in detail. Pope Francis met with members of the U.S. Bishops' Committee for the National Eucharistic Congress on Monday, where he said the Congress marks a significant moment in the life of the Church in the United States. He praised the committee's efforts to contribute to a revival of faith in and love for the Holy Eucharist, which he called the source and summit of the Christian life. The Pope also blessed large monstrance that will be used to house our Lord during the National Eucharistic Congress, which will take place in July 2024. We have a report.
Members of the organizing committee for the U.S. Bishops' upcoming National Eucharistic Congress met with the Pope at the Vatican. The Bishops' three-year Eucharistic Revival campaign, aimed at increasing devotion to Jesus in the Eucharist, is in its second year now, and major national events are planned for 2024. The decision to undertake the initiative followed a 2019 Pew survey that revealed that only 31% of Catholics believe in a basic tenet of their faith, that the body and blood of Christ are truly and substantially present in the Eucharist. The National Eucharistic Congress, one of the revival's culminating events, will take place on July 17 to 21, 2024. Organizers expect 80,000 faithful from across the country to gather for the Congress, which they say will be a defining moment in this generation. The Pope, however, stressed the importance of Eucharistic adoration in the life of the Church, calling for evangelization and love to be shown especially toward the elderly, whom he called the wisdom of the people, and the sick, who are the image of the suffering Jesus.
That was Helbert Katanda with the Catholic News Agency report. Preparations for the anti-homosexuality demonstrations are at an advanced stage for the interdenominational participation possibilities. Lilongwe Archdiocese Pastoral Coordinator Reverend Father James Mkezalamba has told us that the upper level is subject to Public Affairs Committee PAC, which is now handling the preparations. Prophetic Ministries Associates of Malawi, PAMA, through its president Dr. Lex Kalolo, has endorsed the planned demonstration while showing interest in participating. We have more in this report by Robert Edward.
The pastoral coordinator, Reverend Father James Nkwezaramba, said victims of homosexuality are not being condemned as they remain children of God, for some were influenced into the act through different means, hence the need for their rehabilitation. He then called on all well-meaning Malawians to patronize the protest, describing the malpractice as against scriptures.
Scripturally, we know and understand that marriage is about a woman and a man. And then the teachings of the Catholic Church have a tradition, and the tradition is based on the scriptures, but also what a human being encounters, the experience of humanity in the world. Homosexuality is also against the order of nature.
On confirmation of the date, Father Nkwezaramba said the organization of the demos has now been scaled up and is being handled by Public Affairs Committee.
So now the issue has gone to the level of the conference of the bishops in Malawi. And so our engagement has scaled up the preparations to the level of Public Affairs Committee. So they are the ones now making all the plans about what we are going to do. We are not sure whether the date 29th will be maintained, but it may be maintained. That's what that was our initial discussions. But since it's now the bishops taking care of the issue, but also the...
Meanwhile, the Episcopal Conference of Malawi Secretary General, Father Alfred Chaima, says the Catholic bishops in the country already made their stand on the matter in their 2013 pastoral letter, where they condemned the malpractice, but he was quick to say that they may make another communication which will be shared in due course. The matter follows a constitutional court case where a Dutch national who is being accused of sodomizing boys under his bursary scheme, and a Malawian who want the court to declare sections 54 and 56 of the Penal Code unconstitutional, whose success will consequently legalize the sodomy malpractice in the country. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
Minister of Homeland Security Ken Zikali Ngoma has called for support from the local and international community in order to provide a conducive environment for refugees in the country. Ngoma made the call in Lilongwe as the world is commemorating the World Refugee Day today. The minister said government still remains committed to host and support refugees and asylum seekers. We have a report being read by Tandiwe Nzumara.
According to the minister, government has plans to ensure that refugees and asylum seekers are documented and included in the national agenda. He disclosed that so far, about 1,955 refugees and asylum seekers have returned to Dzaleka refugee camp following the relocation exercise.
This year's theme says it all. The government will continue giving hope away from home to all law-abiding refugees and asylum seekers by providing security and by allowing refugees to have access to education, health, and social protection in accordance with the rule of law. I, however,
million people around the world are forcibly displaced. This includes over 8 million people, mainly children, women, and older people, who have fled Ukraine since February 2022, and over 3.6 million Syrians living in Turkey, many of whom were affected by the 2023 earthquakes.
Tandiwe Mzumara reading that report. The Baraka District Agriculture Officer says it is set to launch a catchment conservation and management campaign on Thursday to help farmers prepare for the 2023-2024 farming season. The launch, according to Mavuto Kamanga, coordinator for Adaptation Fund project, which is being implemented in the district, will have displays of technologies that mitigate climate change, land degradation, and food and nutrition stresses. He said,
preparing to inspire his fellow farmers through conservation agriculture, Enoch Bear said he has been using the technology for a long time, and besides yielding humidity and creating less work for him, the technology protects his field from running water.
Ndeno apapa mmene mukuoneramu chimene chimachitika chita chonchi ndi kuti nthaka yathu imakhala yofewa ngakhale mvula itagwa sikuti mvula ija imayenda imazi aja amayenda ayi amapita pansi chomwe chili phindu limene limachokera kuteteza nthaka.
The Chief Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources Officer for the district, Dennis Zingeni, said the campaign is important for the district as land degradation is promoting food insecurity for most households. He has, however, emphasized that the use of manure is not meant to replace inorganic fertilizer but complement its use.
We are not substituting fertilizer with manure, but we are encouraging the farmers that as they are applying inorganic fertilizer, they have to make sure that in their field, they have also applied the manure. Both the field which has you have applied manure and also applied inorganic fertilizer, very well, because it improves the soil structure, whereby holding a lot of water. As you already know that Baraka is one of the districts which do experience a lot of prolonged dry spell.
Some of the technologies that will be showcased include swales, manure making and application, and conservation agriculture, just to mention but a few. The field day will be held in Traditional Authority Amidu in the district. Rashida Matantika, Luntha TV, Baraka.
remember that you're watching the news coming to you from our Bishop Navy Media Center in Area 2, Lilongwe. We'll be back after this.
Personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Welcome back, and you are with me, Bernard Manza. Moving on, child rights defender Amos Chibwana says even though Malawi is making positive strides in eliminating child labor in the country, there is a need for collaboration, especially from employers, to willingly commit and pledge to support activities that can help address the root cause of child labor. In an interview with Luntha television, Chibwana said while there have been a significant progress in fighting child labor over the years, the progress is not that huge, and currently about 160 million children are still engaged in child labor globally, a situation he described as worrisome. Chibwana further said there is need for more awareness since the issue of child labor in Malawi is very serious, and the fortunate part is that not many people know all forms of child abuse, and because of that, some of the people engage in child abuse unknowingly. Bridget Manoka has more in this report.
Child labor is widespread in Malawi, with the most recent National Child Labor Survey showing that 38% of children aged between 5 to 17 are involved in child labor, the majority of whom are working in the agriculture sector, and approximately half of whom are engaged in hazardous child labor. Chibwana said the number is alarming and the country should move faster than the rest in achieving target 8.7 of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. He said there is need for immediate and effective measures to eradicate child labor, forced labor, modern slavery, and human trafficking.
We have the legal framework. These legal frameworks are critically there to guard and safeguard such issues. For example, we have the Labour Act, that clearly stipulates or decriminalizes the employment of children, and at the same time we have the Child Care Protection and Justice Act that safeguards as well children from being employed. But then what we are lacking as a country is enforcement of that. And most of the times these issues are happening by maybe the individual or few stakeholders. But this needs a corporate approach. It must start at the family level and at the community level. Where now we are talking about the community leaders. We are talking about the faith community. They have to come in. The media, you need to come in and ensure that such cases are what are being reported now and again.
According to Chibwana, the efforts of child labor elimination are further strengthened through Malawi's second Decent Work Country Program and National Action Plan on Child Labor Elimination that provides a framework for response to eliminate child labor. In particular, the National Action Plan identifies the challenges in accessing quality education, including its high cost, as one of the cases of child labor. It also draws attention on the key priority areas of child labor prevention, withdrawal from, and reintegration into schools by promoting efforts to improve access to education. Chibwana has since called on relevant stakeholders to help in combating the vice. Bridget Mwanoka, for Luntha News in Lilongwe.
Minister of Gender, Community Development and Social Welfare, Jean Sendeza, has called for collaboration in raising the standards of early childhood development, ECD, saying government alone cannot afford to fund all the requirements of the system. She made the remarks when responding to a call by Action Aid to increase funds in the system, which can help accommodate more children who are going to primary school without attending ECDs. Sendeza said the government sees the importance of investing in early childhood development, and that is why it has come up with the ECD policy aimed at prioritizing the area. From Balaka, here is Rashida Madandika with more.
Briefing the minister on how Action Aid is doing in implementing early childhood education, ECD Programs Manager Anderson Moyo said there is need for more action to advance the program because a lot of children are still idle in their homes. He said a number of children whose ages are supposed to be in schools go straight to primary school without attending child-based care. Moyo said the program requires 40 billion Malawi kwacha, and currently it is being run with a deficit of 24 billion kwacha. He said Action Aid is committed in promoting ECD, which improves the education experience of young children by ensuring a smooth transition from reception to primary school.
If we want to have to achieve our goals as a country, we need educated people. If we do not have educated people, we'll have a lot of early marriages. That will confront our economy because we have a lot of girl children who will be having children at a younger age. But if the children understands the importance of education at an early age, from ECD, as we've seen those children whom we came with, then we're going to reduce the cost of the education budget in terms of repetition of children will be low, dropouts of children will be low. Hence, we need investment in ECD.
In her response, the Minister of Gender and Social Welfare, Honorable Jean Sendeza, said they are aware of the challenges in funds, but the problem can be reduced with collaboration from relevant stakeholders.
Government alone cannot manage all the activities in regards to ECDs. So that is why we rely on the cooperating partners, the local NGOs, the international NGOs, to help government in all these activities. Because, you know, as government, you know, pays, they can't afford to just maybe budget for the ECDs, but it's all of us that should do these things. So the mindset change and even the issues to do with the resources, it's for all of us.
Action Aid is also using digital platforms to keep books and monitor daily activities for teachers and administrators. Learners are also taught using smartphones in learning. For Luntha TV in Baraka, this is Rashida Matandika reporting.
In sports news, Malawi's national football team, the Flames, have failed to qualify for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON Group D finals following a goalless draw with Ethiopia at the Zimpeto National Stadium in Maputo, Mozambique. This has given Guinea a chance to qualify for the AFCON finals in Group D with 9 points, 3 behind Egypt, while Malawi and Ethiopia have 4 points from 5 matches. Malawi will host Guinea in the last match in September, while Egypt will meet Ethiopia. In other news, heavy fighting erupted in Garowe, capital of Somalia's semi-autonomous region of Puntland earlier today as the local parliament began debating changes to the voting system. The Puntland government said on Facebook the regional parliament had voted in favor of considering amendments to the constitution and further debates and votes will take place. No details about any casualties have emerged yet. We have more in this report.
The clashes broke out after opposition groups accused Puntland's leader, Said Abdullahi Deni, of asking constitutional changes that would extend his term in office beyond January next year or help tip the ballot in his favor. There has been no comment yet on the situation from the Somalian government in Mogadishu. Puntland is one of a number of autonomous and semi-autonomous regions in Somalia where no central authority has fully controlled the entire territory for decades. Clan rivalries and lingering houses due to colonial legacies have also exacerbated political divisions. Somaliland, the nearby autonomous region that ceded from Somalia in 1991, is disputing ownership of the city of Las Anod, which a certain clan of Puntland claims as its capital. Since the 16th of February, when fighting began in the city, over 300 people have died and more than 200,000 people have been displaced.
Well, that's the news for now. But before we go, let's take another look at our main stories. Pope Francis calls National Eucharistic Congress a significant moment in the life of the Church. Public Affairs Committee PAC engaged on anti-homosexuality demonstration preparations. Malawi government expresses commitment to supporting refugees in the country. Fighting erupts in Somalia's Puntland region after parliament debate. Thank you so much for watching, and this has been Bernard Mwanza. Have a good time and continue watching the rest of our programs.